Violin 3. Right at the beginning here we can see we're in the key of G major because we only have one sharp, and that is F sharp. So what that means for us is that our second finger on G and D are going to stay on the tape, and on the A and the E string we're going to be playing with a squish 2. I'm going to start right at the beginning here where it has double stops. You don't have to play them. You can play either the top note or the bottom note, but I'm going to teach you how to play the double stops together. So I'm going to figure out what the notes are first. So I can see my bottom note is a G3 and my top note is a D1. And these are all going to be staccato. So I'm going to try my really best to hit both strings at the same time to make this sound. Sorry, that was gross. So we want to hit both strings evenly. So once we can do that, fiddle around with your fingers a little bit to make sure that that interval sounds nice together. So this is what it would sound like if it was a little bit off. So there, it's good again. Alright, so now that you have your interval sounding nice, here we go with our staccatos. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now I'm going to leave my first finger on the D string and put my second finger down on the G string. Put my third finger back. Alright, so I'm in measure 9 right now, and I have an A1 and a D1, but how do I play them together? Well, we're going to bar our finger across those notes. So my finger is actually pressing the A and the D string down at the same time. And sometimes you have to adjust the angle of your finger to make it sound right. Because if you're playing on an angle like this, you're actually playing an A back 1 by accident. So trying to get as straight and nice sound across these two strings as possible. Okay? Squish 2 on D. Yep. So do that a few times. So first finger and squish 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Squish 2 on D. Back to that. And then here we have a G3 and a D3. And we're going to do the same thing. We're going to bar across the strings using our third finger to press both those strings down. We have to jump back to D1 and, sorry, this one you're not going to be able to play as a double stop because both those notes are on the same string. So for now, we're just going to choose either the top note or the bottom note, and I'm going to play the bottom note, which is D1. So I'm going to go from measure 13. Here we go, we have eighth notes, and we're jumping between D1 and A1. So I'm going to bar my fingers like I'm playing a double stop. But now here, I'm just going to jump between them. So much easier than doing this. And your intonation isn't guaranteed if you're constantly picking that finger up. So bar it across. And let's keep those bows nice and staccato, so short and sticky. Measure 17, I put my second finger down and squish 2. And back to double stop, so A1 and D3. Whole notes, 1, 2, 3, high 3 on G, 2, 3, regular 2, back to double stops, and I'm already putting my first finger in that D1 position. Back to open D and high 3, regular 3, regular 2. My first finger's already going to that D1 and I'm ready to play. Trickiest pattern of violin 3. So we're going to play first finger on the D and the A string, and then you can play open E. It's a little bit tricky though. You could go like this. I find it easier actually to play with my fourth finger on the A string. Slow that pattern down. So we start on the D. So we're jumping back to our D string quite a bit. So D, A, then we're playing with our pinky. Back to D, A, fourth finger, D, A, back to D. So start really, really slow, like take lots of time between every note, and then you can speed it up little by little until you can play like this. And you have to really stretch that pinky to get it on the tape and in tune. All right, and then it jumps down to G3. So you can again play your pinky on those notes, or you can try to play the open strings. Whichever one you can get to sound the cleanest. Sometimes with this one, with your pinky on, switching between the D and the A string, it's a little tricky. You might put it on the wrong string. Start really, really slow and work your way through. And then we're back to quarter notes. Again, the D1 and the D3, you can't double stop right now because they're on the same string. So just choose the bottom or the top. I'm going to choose the bottom. So here, this is really, really important because we're the only ones playing this under what violin 2 and 1 are doing. So again, we're going to do D1, and it's going to count like this. It's the exact same rhythm that violin 1 and 2 play at the beginning, just an octave down. So we go 1, 2, 3. Then we have 4 full beats of silence. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3. 3, 4. And those last 4 quarter notes are going to be quite a bit slower with the rest of the ensemble. So I'm going to start at 63 and play it at tempo. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3. 3, 4. Alright, so that is Violin 3 of Eleanor Rigby. Happy practicing, everyone.